thing that I think is important to acknowledge when we think about leadership for the future is the capacities we have in place at the present time. And I've been especially struck by this of late as I've been reviewing the international studies of student achievement that have been done by OECD, and the results of the most recent, I think, 2010 Pan-Canadian tests, which compare achievement on comparable measures across districts in all 10 of the provinces on student achievement measures. And it's very clear from all of those sets of data right now that Ontario likely has the best school system in the world, given the circumstances it faces at the present time. I think, Finland always seems to be at the top of the heap when it comes to international tests, but frankly, it's a silly comparison to make because the country is just so dramatically different, smaller, homogeneous than ours, that their circumstances just aren't our circumstances. So, I'm not sure how much is to be learned from Finland. I mean, sometimes the talk is about the commitment to all teachers with master's degrees. Well, our teachers are very well educated, and there really isn't a lot of evidence to suggest that more degrees make better teachers. So, I'm a bit skeptical about that. But more to the point, we're trying to make a very good system, maybe the best system in the world, better. So this has serious ceiling effects hovering over it right now, right? We have to conclude, it doesn't matter what our EQAO scores are and whether we would like them to be higher. The fact of the matter is, in comparisons with what is actually accomplishable by looking at these international and cross-provincial results, it doesn't get much better than this. So we're really trying to find a way to make marginal improvements in a high-performing system. Now, that's the context in which I think we need to think about, what are the challenges facing leaders in our schools and districts going forward? Well, they're already high capacity by any reasonable standard. That's true of teachers as well. Can we make them even higher capacity? Well, we know that some of them aren't practicing all of the skills that we associate with effective leaders, but a lot of them are practicing a lot of those skills and capacities at a very high level, and it's completely unrealistic, to expect 100% of anything to happen. So again, I think we're at the point now where we need to provide, I'm back to the autonomy thing, more opportunities for people to learn their way forward by telling us, as they do during the Principals Congress, for example, that the Leadership Development Branch sponsors, what they're doing to close the achievement gap, what they're doing to accomplish some of the higher order goals that we have in mind, how they go about turning around their schools, and building on that knowledge and feeding it back to their colleagues. I think a big challenge then, to kind of sum this up, is to capture the good practices that are in place at the present time, make them very explicit, synthesize them the best we can, compare them to the more systematic research evidence that's available, and make that the basis for the leadership practices at the next stage. I think it has to be much more synthetic, if you like, than it has been in the past. It's not simply the research community figuring out what good people are doing and telling everybody else. That won't do it. We already know what that stuff looks like, and it's not going to change very much going forward. So I think leadership is more about taking control over improving your own practices, but in the context of all of your colleagues who are doing the same work, with a sense of responsibility that you have to undertake the improvement not only of the kids in your school, but you have to contribute to the improvement of kids in your district and maybe in the province as well. So it's kind of expanding everybody's horizons.